You have to be the one. Inspired from Christine Caine's Up-Level Your Life programme. Her advert said, "Without a doubt, Up-Level Your Life will do more for you than anything you've ever tried up to this point in your life." So I invested. This time it was for me, to help me. Up-leveling my life sounded just what I needed. The very start of transformation. Hi, this is Tracy Roberts, founder of Transforming Me. Do you know what you want to be, what you want to do, or what you want to have? These were some of the questions and learning points in Christine's training. For me, I wanted to be really happy. I wanted to do fruitful things with my life that made others appreciate me. I wanted wellness and not illness. But people around me irritated me. I'd become intolerant to others, to food, and to my own lifestyle. The truth was, I had a family who I loved. I had parents who loved me. I had a good job and a nice home. But I was miserable. I was a nervous wreck. I was frightened that I was really ill. And I now know I was struggling with my mental health. My journey into transformation started when I faced being displaced from my role. In short, it was the company's way of saying, "We've got a new business strategy and you're not part of it." Whether you jump or you get pushed, it matters not. But the prospect of leaving something very familiar, very financially safe, is enough to unsettle anyone. How would I survive without my corporate income? Change was happening, but it was more than just work. It was my family and my health. My lads were growing up and the primary school routine and friendship circles were fading. My body was showing signs of heading for the menopause. I'd stopped doing some of the things I used to love, as I believed they were causing me too much stress. Everyone told me I was doing too much and I should slow down. Next stop had to be the doctors. The doctors was a familiar place for me. I'd spent many hours with either of my parents or my children in the local GP practice over the years, which is all okay when you are well, but when you're starting to feel broken, how you show up for the people you love can make you a very different person. Being a carer for a dad who had dementia, a mom who had Parkinson's disease and diabetes, and a wife to a husband who had significantly reduced our family income by taking early voluntary retirement, as well as still bringing up 2 young children, one of which was on the autistic spectrum, was starting to cause me to crack. Almost a sense of being broken. A deep sense of fear was surrounding me. Aging and the eventual death of my parents, no secure career prospects, and my own body started to struggle with life was really getting me down. I will never really know if I was serotonin deficient, but I had very few options and gave in to the process. I took the first step to get the pills. Google told me the SSRI is the type of antidepressant drug that inhibits the reabsorption of serotonin by neurons, so increasing the availability of serotonin as a neurotransmitter. Didn't really get it, as I didn't have a biology degree. Was this like iron deficiency I'd experienced as a child? Were these chemicals going to help my mind work better, help me to stop feeling anxious, support my hormones to function better? It was worth a try, as I really was stuck in a very bad place. The me that got dressed, tried to function, but was just so exhausted starting to emerge. Yes, my nerves were starting to calm down, but boy, I felt wretched. sick feelings, unsettled stomachs, headaches, hot sweats. Welcome to zombie me, the slowed down me, the slow motion me. What had happened to me? Was it the medication? I'd gone from stressed, cross, angry, crying, but still battling with life, to kind of being okay, but feeling sheer exhaustion all the time and almost only able to care about myself and no one else. I wanted to be on my own. I didn't want people around me. I started to withdraw, sit in my room. I stopped doing the household chores. Had I gone from anxiety to depression? I tried to carry on working from home. I'd sneak off for a rest or a meditation just to calm my nerves. It was 2016 when HR had announced the new business strategic move to Leeds. Within 6 months, I was on antidepressants. My mum's health was declining and she was making more and more demands on me. My body was hurtling towards the menopause and my nerves were out of control. By October 2017, I was given 13 weeks' notice to stop working from home. I used my time wisely to start my own research into my health issues, my road to recovery. It was the start of 2018 and I stopped taking the SSRIs. I moved from home working into a small local office and I went on an RTT training course. By June 2018, Transforming Me was born. I carried on working in corporate, or should I say, showing up for work, because all of my job had now been moved 200 miles up north. Secretly, I was ill, but I had started working on myself. I made a commitment to get myself out of this mess. After all, I had family that needed me, and I knew I really did not want to be this version of me anymore. The universe then opened a door, a chance to leave, and I took it. It was time for me to create a happier, healthy version of me. This was my first breakthrough. I was the creator of my life, and if I'd created this mess, then I had to be the one to work out how to get out of it. It was time for me to up-level, but in whose footsteps should I follow? Transforming Me was just the start. It was the point of acceptance that I could be in control. It was the part of me that wanted to create change in myself into a version that was able to understand and accept that this was my life, and it really was my mess to sort it out. A version of me that had to unpack my emotional baggage and choose to look a bit deeper on my life's direction. Although I'd pushed myself off the medication through the very emotional journey of learning RTT and then later leaving corporate life in 2018, it wasn't until I stumbled on Up-Level Your Life that I started to understand the person I could become. I kind of felt worthy of good quality information. After all, I had worked for a blue chip company all my life. I wanted high standards for myself. I felt I deserved the best. My real transformation started when I began to learn from the world's greatest minds. By embarking on a new learning journey, one that I was creating myself, controlling myself, and delivering for myself, helped me to remove fear and build my confidence to be and work on my own. I had the gift of time to do research, when I wanted, how I wanted, time to study what I needed to know, not only to up-level, but to truly change my thinking and outlook on life. Change that allowed me to heal and connect with my true potential. I'd been a master at process change and understood the impact of adult learning in my corporate role, but this had to get very personal. I was without a full-time job. I had to notice myself, my behaviours, my habits, the parts that were damaging to my health. Something still occasionally triggering panic attacks. One thing is for sure is that change is part of life, whether it's enforced like I had through work, or whether it's organic in the natural changing state of my body, or the things that I was going to change that I could control. Keeping the lanes of change open for me, trying to stay positive about the prospect of working for myself. Self-education became my new strategy. The best news of all is now I get to share back all that I've learned through my experience. I get to show people the wisdom I've gained by following certain influential people, and I get to help people change their lives for the better. I went through 6 clear stages of personal transformation. Those stages are the very same stages I guide my clients through today. First of all, I needed rescuing. I needed to stop the feelings of fear and panic. I needed to reduce the emotional reactions that were just draining my energy. I needed to understand me, that I was the creator of my life, what thoughts I'm creating, which in turn were generating my feelings and my behavior. I needed to restore me, living by my own values, changing my limiting beliefs and awakening my consciousness. I needed to connect. I needed to make healthy, fruitful connections, nurturing relationships, and I needed to reprogram me, designing and creating that better, bolder, happier, healthy me before I could step into transforming me. Daily practices that support ongoing change and continuous improvement for myself. A version of me that was able to have emotional and physical agility to cope with change. Christine's daily lessons would show up in my mailbox every day. They were short but powerful and enough to challenge my thinking. I got hungry for more information and started signing up for other masterclasses and self-help learning. How are you going to help yourself? Do you need someone to show you the door